Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable.
Now up to bat, right fielder Casselton.
That's pretty good. Not bad. I'm impressed. Okay, we'll be back once that's... Oh, we are back. We are back. Yeah, good evening here. We sorry we were late there. We had a little bit of a quicker transition than we expected. We have LaMoure coming in facing our Casselton Railcats here in the third place game. Two teams that have played really well so far in this tournament. And we're in the bottom of the first inning. We apologize for missing that first half there. We will we'll get the lineups out to you. That was Case Kasowski there going down on strikes. 0-0, and here we have Talon Center coming to the plate, number 12, and he is playing shortstop this evening. Pitched really great in the first night here, and I'd like to bring in our color guy, Cale Lewis here. What are you looking for here in the third and fourth place game?
So who do we got pitching? It's a Joe Kappas. So far, I mean, I think to recap the first top half of the inning, he went 1, 2, 3 up down the line. So they got the first guy to bat, DeVries to ground out to first, and then the second batter flew out to second baseman, and then third batter grounded up to shortstop Talon Center. So far so good, and I think talking with Coach Sam Stig here a little earlier, I think he's going to have a plethora of guys kind of going today. He's got a bunch of counters this week on a short week, so I think he's going to try to piece together some pitching. So I think really that's the key to today, is if they can throw strikes.
Talon hits it up the middle there.
Nice little hit.
Shortstop Waldy there, the athletic shortstop, does a little dive to his left, but that's a straight hit there for center. And here comes Jack Lennon. Jack Lennon with a couple big hits last night against the lefty from Thompson. A smaller in stature guy, but he really gets a lot of power in his swing, like generates a bunch of power from his hips, and those are legit hits over the right fielder's head. And
he is a smart ball player. He doesn't swing at a bunch of garbage. He will make sure he's swinging at strikes. And he connected on two pretty big ones yesterday, and they weren't pop flies. They were line drives.
Yeah, you got the ultimate compliment today. We were talking to some different coaches from different ages, and they're saying he's really a gym rat, field rat type of guy, and he seems like a really good competitor here, and we're excited for his future in the program.
Yeah, a lot of these 14s are going to be fun to watch come down the line.
There's a foul ball. Our foul balls are sponsored by Excel Energy. Excel Energy is proud to support Casselton baseball and the community spirit that brings everyone together. Excel Energy, making energy work better. Big swing there again from Glennon. Down on the count. Ball and 2 strikes and 2 outs here.
Jack is going to really challenge this guy. I fully expect it to be a battle here between the two.
They hit it hard to Waldy there. Waldy was shading him up the middle as he was trying to keep center close. He is safe there, as called by the base umpire, Alex Everson. Behind the plate is Georgia Hughes this evening, or Cody Hughes or Jordan Hughes, whatever, depending on how well you know him, I guess. Up comes the left fielder, Caden Kennedy.
It's a big at bat here with guys on first and third.
Kennedy, a versatile player. He's also one of the catchers, and playing in left field tonight. Nice to have some options for Coach Staig's team. Big hit there by Kennedy. That will score the run. Center scores there, and the Railcats have an early lead here, 1-0. And here comes Easton Lip to the plate. Easton Lip, big kid, playing third base this evening.
That was a shot there by Caden. I think I don't know if the third baseman didn't expect it coming, or he kind of fell over and while he was throwing the ball or whatever. But that was a pretty hard hit.
Yeah, it seems like the Railcats kind of have LaMoure on their heels a little bit. You don't see that very often, but they're making them feel it. They're hitting it plenty hard, and really having a nice start to the game, both pitching and fielding, and all pitching, fielding, and with the bats. That one's going to get the back fence. So Easton Thilgis pitching. Surprise you that there's a good Thilgis from LaMoure, Cale?
Yeah. There's a handful of those guys in LaMoure that are Thilgis, that are athletes, and it's a pretty well-known name here in the southeast part of the state.
The ball kind of looked like it curved around the inside part of the plate for a ball. Not quite touching the inside part. We're really lucky, good experienced umps. You know, these guys ump Legion. Georgia Hughes, who's behind the plate, has umped at some really high levels. We're lucky to have those guys out here. They're wearing the blue.
Yeah, the baby blues.
I think you're talking, was the cream your favorite color, or the red?
Yeah, the cream's my favorite. Red is right there close, but blues are probably my third.
Okay.
Traditional blacks, they're okay, but you'll never get better than red or cream, in my opinion.
Ooh, that's hit hard. That's a good hard. That's going to get two. Here comes Kennedy. That gets them both in. Big start for the Railcats. And here comes the pitcher for this evening, Joe Kappas. Joe Kappas is one of the guys that spent a lot of time down at a wrestling camp this week. Really savvy player, good in the field, good hitter, good pitcher, just really smart about baseball, and one of these guys that when he's 17, 18 might be the best one out here. So quick and early lead here for the Railcats, 3-0 against LaMoure.
Probably smart to just hang on to that one and not throw it away and make a mistake. I think it maybe just bounced in front of the plate as well, so would hold on to the ball from the catcher on that play there. Good swing there.
Yeah, good swing and really a good pitch there by Thilgis too, outside. And it seemed like if Joe would have hit that, he probably would have got around it for a weak ground ball on the right side.
Yeah.
So nice pitch, nice pitcher's pitch by Thilgis.
I tell you what, I'm impressed with the amount of kids on this Babe Ruth tournament that have been able to pitch, throw that outside strike for a pitch for a strike.
Yeah, a lot of accuracy there and really being able to dot that outside corner. And in the breaking pitches, that was kind of one of the things I thought you were going to say is how many good breaking balls.
Well, that as well.
We see too, right?
Yeah, that as well. That's another one.
Yeah. Well, keep watching here for things like that and much more as we head to the second inning and Kayla and I get settled into our seats. Keep watching on yourliveevent.com.
Residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
All right, welcome back here in the top of the second inning. Joe Kappas pitching to Grayson Zeman behind the plate there. I'm guessing I'm not going to have to prompt you much, Kale, as a catching aficionado to talk well about Zeman.
I talked to Grayson a little bit today, and I told him, I said, dude, you have an absolute gift. You need to keep using it, keep working hard. I love I love how he feels so comfortable behind the plate. You can tell he is comfortable. He's catching the ball smooth. He's receiving well. And it looks like to me like he's got a pretty good rapport with the guys, as far as pitchers. And that I talked to Sam. I said he's got a couple things he can work on. But I'm going to tell you right now, I am absolutely looking forward to this kid. This is going to be a fun kid to watch, and he throws it well. Boy, I'm so excited about him.
And speaking of exciting kids, I'm guessing they like this Crosby Shockman kid playing first base for LaMoure. We had talked the other night about if I was NDSU football, I think I'd be traveling down to LaMoure to check out some of these guys. He's one of these big kids.
They probably have. The NDSU coaches probably have. They probably bought a house down there. They just visit it and stay in it when they need to, as much as they go down to the LaMoure area.
Yeah, what do you think the more timeshares go for?
Yeah, right now I probably say it's pretty expensive if you're an NDSU. if you're a football coach or a college football coach, I think it's pretty nice little hit there by Shockman.
Yeah, here comes Russ Arndt, and he's in left field tonight. Another big kid for LaMoure. Just always a treat to have LaMoure come to any of your baseball tournaments at any level. You know they're going to compete. You know they're going to know how to play baseball. You know they're not going to back down to anybody. We're just really appreciative of them coming and spending some time here.
Yeah, they're talk about it's a classic class team, classy, well coached. Just know how to behave at a baseball tournament. See, there's a case where I think that when Grayson, I think his teammates just got to learn to talk to him a little better, and where the ball is sometimes when he's knocking it down, he's not always going to know where it's at.
Nice pitch there by Kappas. Got the swing and miss from Arndt. We're well represented by Railcat parents here up in the booth. We got on the PA tonight is Joe Morgan, and helping us on the scoreboard is Jeremy Center. Really appreciative of all the work they've done this weekend and throughout the season, helping make sure that we can get things like your live events here to the fans and the parents and grandparents. So really appreciative of them. Here's a fly ball out to right. Case playing right field. Nice catch.
I'll Carver Kozlowski. I tell you what, I don't know if Case has played much outfield, and I don't, he seems like an infielder to me, but I think he looked pretty comfortable catching that ball there.
Absolutely.
Just like his brother.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you have a kid playing in a different position than you're used to, and you kind of look up and the ball's in the air, and you're like, oh yeah, we're in pretty good shape there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think Case can probably play wherever he wants.
Here comes Elm Lucino. third baseman. Yeah, Case with a couple really nice starts in a row here. Pitched really well against the 15-year-old Blackstockings here from Casselton in a close 4-0 game. And nice play.
That's a great
nice
play
by Talon Center.
That's a great play by Talon Center. I tell you right now, that is baseball 101. I mean, smart. That's a smart play.
No question.
He basically baited him into doing that. You can't. That stuff you can't teach.
Here comes Thomas Waldy. Pretty textbook in the fact that like right away he looked to make sure he wasn't getting to the next base, wasn't advancing. Then it kind of froze the runner, so he goes straight to the runner, gets the out right away. And then it was big because he kept the force with the guy running to first, so it just couldn't have been any better.
Yeah, that's a heads-up play right there. I don't know how to. Yeah, that's a great play.
Great, and we're not just saying that because Jeremy's sitting right next to us. But great top of the second inning there for the Railcats, and they are still leading here 3-0 over the LaMoure A's. Keep watching on YourLiveEvent.com.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
All right, we are back. Welcome back. Excited to have you back as we move into the bottom of the second inning.
Starting out the bottom of 2 for the Railcats will be first baseman Luke Hilmos.
Batting now is Luke Hamowski, as you hear Joe over the PA. Luke Hamowski, just a great kid, fun kid to be around. Always seems to have a kind of a shy smile to him, and super pleasant anytime you talk to him. He's one of these kids that is in a different grade than most of these guys, so but chooses to play down. And then in the spring, of course, he plays with the other guys because his grade aligns to the high school. Next year, he'll get to play with them with his buddies in both situations. So. Nice little curveball there by Theolgis. Froze Luke a little bit.
That catcher, Grayson Zeman.
And here comes Grayson Zeman, excuse me. The catcher that Gail's been drooling over all weekend.
I told him, I said, buddy, I said, you can always learn to hit. But you can't, it's easier to learn to hit than it is to be a great catcher. So that doesn't mean he can't, do some things on his own to help himself hit. But I'll be an advocate for him. That is for absolute certain. Look at that.
Rip.
Look at that.
Nice rip.
There he goes.
I think he took what's the word I'm looking for? Exception to the that statement that he's not a hitter, right? I know that's not exactly what you said, right?
I'm frequently wrong, so I will absolutely glad to be wrong anytime I can, especially when it comes to the success of these guys.
Another kid we've talked a lot about this weekend, Crosby Tripke. Really a lot of similarities between those two kids from a hustle perspective, backing people up, really doing the right things. There's lots of talented kids out there, and then there's certain things there's like an effort and attitude thing that you really can control, and we like what we see with these two kids from our judgment, don't we?
Yep, for sure. This is who you build your program around.
Nice move there by Theolgis to keep Zeman close. This is the top of the order with Crosby Tripke, center fielder. The one I got kind of a kick out of last night was there was a fly ball late in the game after the game had gotten away from the Railcats a little bit, and got past the right fielder, and it's like Tripke's standing right there. He had to run about a country mile to get over there and back him up so close. So fun to see that.
Yeah, again, something you can't you can teach that. You can tell kids that, but for them to understand when and where they need to be, that's not always the easiest thing either. So yeah, look at that. That's a nice little bit of hitting right there.
Nice hit, and some of it is a lot of fortune there because a well-designed play there where the runner was going, so the shortstop was moving over to second, and he hit it right where he wasn't, or where he was, where he used to be, I guess. Nice hit there, nice piece of hitting, as you mentioned. Here comes Case Kasowski. As we kind of have started to mention, he pitched really well against the Blackstockings 2 starts ago. Last night he was exceptional against Thompson, and had him up 2-0 through the 5th inning or something like that. It was about that, and really composed, really poised on the mound, did a nice job, and that was good. Even when that game started to unravel a little bit, that's going to be a really good learning thing for them too. Well, you talked about center making the great play earlier. Thiel just made a wonderful play there too.
Yep. It's heavily understated how important the fundamentals are on those plays where he's got to make sure and doesn't let that guy score, because he starts running, he throws to first. It's going to be an awful tough time to get him at home if that first baseman's got to throw down.
Here comes Talon Center. Speaking of which, just talking about how that play compared to his play where he caught the runner between. Ooh, there you go. Got it again.
That's a good play there. That's a good solid hit, but then that's an easy, and I don't want to say easy, but that's a definite third base priority where, and it just happened to be where they were, and unfortunate.
Yeah, we're seeing some really good defense here on both sides. Fun to watch 2 teams, well coached. And let's see what happens here as we move on to the 3rd inning. Keep watching on yourliveevent.com.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated. So you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Welcome back. We're excited to be back here. Wherever the season takes you, Bank North is here with local banking, local decisions, and a commitment to the communities they serve. Learn more at banknorth.bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. All right, Kappas will start his 3rd inning of work here. I think Coach Stagg has to be really happy with what he's gotten from Kappas so far here.
Yeah, 21 pitches, 12 strikes, fairly efficient there. You take whatever you can get out of Joe, because I will say that with a lot of our kids, and this is becoming a trend, for Casselton baseball. We don't have a ton of guys with a lot of velo. We don't have a ton of Lucases or Keegans or Carvers, but what I will say we do have is we have a lot of guys that can throw strikes, and I think that's becoming a better thing. I think it's something where coaches are getting better at taking care of arms, and that's huge.
All right, here comes Brooks Elber, second baseman for LaMoure. Yeah, I like the efficiency that you talked about with how few pitches he's thrown. Something that we've talked about for a long time, because, of course, like our boys came through the Babe Ruth ranks, so you have time to armchair quarterback and overanalyze everything, right? The one thing you find at the Babe Ruth level is it's really hard to hit extra base hits. Now, it's a little bit of an exception when you're facing these huge guys from LaMoure.
Yeah.
But if you have a kid that maybe doesn't have a ton of velo, but throws strikes and then maybe has a little wrinkle in there, it plays in perfectly to this level of baseball, right? You end up seeing a lot of ground balls to the infield. You see some flyouts to shallow outfield. You'll see how we have our outfield set up. We're really forcing them to hit it over us. a guy like Kappas mixes in really well at this level.
I agree. I think that's when you do that, when you make guys beat you deep, you're forcing them to take bigger swings than they want to. Then they start trying to aim the ball or aim the hit, so to speak, and one would think that that's easier than it should be, but it isn't. So, got a walk there from Kappas. Got a guy in first now. Let's see if we can get Grayson to throw him out.
Yeah, here comes the right fielder, Zach Paul. I was a little surprised when I showed up this morning that you didn't have a pair of shoes that looked just like his.
I thought about it.
Still on the way?
Yeah. Case Kozlowski.
Look at that throw. Look at that throw. But all the way to third, that's a big play there, right?
Yep.
All of a sudden, you have a guy in third with 0 outs. There's a lot of ways to score that guy.
Yep. I think that I understand what Joe was trying to do, but I think sometimes you really got to be careful. If you're going to throw over there, you got to make sure that you're going to throw and make the throw so that your first baseman can catch it.
Yeah, you don't want to just ignore the guy over there,
right.
And you really do want to keep the forces. And then, ironically, you throw it over there and you lose the forces. But it's like,
otherwise they just get big leads and it turns into something worse. And I think you just got to keeping a close eye on them.
It's really a fun part about baseball. It's similar to any other sport where it's like there's so many jobs there in that one little play, right? He's got to keep him close, and then he's got to make a good throw. Luke has to do whatever he can to make that ball not get by him. Everybody's kind of trying to sacrifice something for their teammate there if we're doing it the right way.
Yep.
And I think they had him leaning a little bit. I
think they did. Yep.
And maybe he got a little excited. Maybe Joe got a little excited seeing him leaning that way, and maybe that affected the throw a little bit.
It definitely could be a reason for it, you bet. Another good stop there by Grayson Zeman. I will tell you right now that there's nothing more frustrating for a coach than to have a guy on third base with a guy that's has thrown a couple pitches in the dirt and can't score because your catcher is blocking every single one of them.
Yeah, it adds a lot of confidence for your.
Crap.
Center almost got there. It adds a lot of confidence for your pitcher to be able to throw his breaking pitches.
Yep.
So that's a really big deal.
That's one of those things where your pitcher is like, okay, you know what, I can pretty much throw anything I have to. Not saying he wants to throw dirt balls, but if and it's going to happen. That's just the nature of the business. But that your catcher is going to be back there and he's going to take care of you.
Yep. Yeah, that brings us back to the top of the order here with Maddox DeVries, the center fielder. Now you get a chance to reset. No outs in this inning. You have the force there. Is it right that there's no outs, right?
No outs, correct.
You have the force there. You really want to keep it there. So, and if you're LaMoure, I don't know a lot about Paul's speed or anything like that. Maybe you want to push the issue. Maybe you want to get it back to a scoring position thing. The lefties make that tricky too.
Yeah, for sure. I think that with a good catcher such as Zeman here and a left-hander, I think you got to be really careful here when you steal bases.
Pop fly. It looks like that's going to get out there. Once again, that's an XL Energy foul ball. Tonight's game is brought to you by XL Energy, proudly powering communities like Casselton and across North Dakota. Not a fan of that ball, evidently. Paul opportunistic on that pass ball or wild pitch, whatever you want to call it, and moves up to second base. Got another hit by pitch there. Now it's going to get DeVries on. Here we got first and second. No outs.
That's as good as a walk there. I mean, you don't like to hit him, but I will say that from a baseball standpoint, It puts a force back on. You just never know with the leadoff guy. You just never know what they're capable of. So, not a horrible thing he did there. But again, you want to try to get outs here. You don't want to start chasing outs. But
yeah, Coach Stagg coming out to visit with the team. Looks like I was thinking Stagg maybe grabbed the ball there, but must not be. Looks like he's going to stick with Joe. I think regardless of what happens for the rest of this game, if you're Coach Stagg or, the teammates, the players, the parents, or whatever, you got to be pretty happy with the Railcat showing that they had this weekend.
I can't agree any more with that because, their record, I will tell you, doesn't define how good this team is. We saw them hang with a pretty powerful Thompson team last night that could very easily be the team that comes out of that district. And right now they're playing with another fantastic team that could come out of that district. So I think when they put things together, I think that they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, they could be a really scary team in that District 7 tournament. They can throw really good pitches at you. We saw the Center's outing was marvelous that first night of the tournament, and we saw what Case is able to do in the second night of the tournament and against the Black Stockings. And yeah, I don't think anyone wants to face those guys.
Nope, I would 100% agree. This team is the biggest thing that I want to see come out of this team, and quite honestly, everything else in this above this is cherry. But I want to see how this team develops. You know what I mean? I think I want to see Talent Center get to a higher level. I want to see Jack Glennon get to a higher level. Case Kozlowski, Grayson Zeman. I want to see these guys get to a higher level, so then they're ready to play at the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. They're getting a lot of time to do it.
And I think that was you and I have chatted about that. Splitting the teams into two, and I know it wasn't the most popular thing, and I think, but long-term vision installed. I think that's the best for them.
Another foul ball there. Yeah, that's a great conversation in and of itself. Of just and obviously you can go a couple different ways, and there's pros and cons to all of it. But there's a lot of kids playing meaningful baseball. You kind of went from 9 to 12 kids playing meaningful baseball to 10 to 24 kids playing meaningful baseball. So
it's a no-brainer in my eyes. But I don't represent all of the Casselton view on that. But what I do is I have my opinion, and I agree with it. So
here comes the pitcher Theologist up, and one thing that's been super interesting is since moving to that is we've consistently had 2 Legion teams, which is really key for that top level. You really do need to have it allows your top team to play with less guys, which gets all those guys more time and allows your second team to develop and get another 30 plus games as well, not to mention some more focused practice with all of them. And we've been pretty lucky with that, I think.
Yep, I couldn't agree more.
Here comes Crosby Shockman, first baseman. And, like you said, it does come down to, you can coach it, you can do all that stuff, and we do have to continue to get better at all that stuff. And then at some point, the kid's got to put some time in, right?
Yep.
The kid really does have to get better and decide if it's something that's important to him. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, I hope his front hand's okay. That's quite the catch there.
Yeah, that
is quite the catch.
And not at all surprised by that. He is a baseball player, and he's going to compete. This is his love. I think there is no lack of passion from Case Kozlowski. That is for certain.
Yeah, what a catch.
Yeah.
It's a little scary because you see that sometimes on catches like that front hand can roll
Gets
under,
yeah.
and it can be scary. But like, you just love the fact that you're playing in a different position. Who knows what that, whatever, and people can pout or they can do whatever. But instead, it's just flat out getting out there and making a play. Be good at the job that you currently have.
Yep.
And here we go. We got a little bit of a merry-go-round going on here.
Run it in.
Yeah, good job. It's kind of funny that you see Zeman doing a good job there of just like, hey, let's settle down, and then you see Kappas coming and get the ball there, settle down. One thing you'd like that throw to home plate, you'd like to make sure that there's some kind of backup there.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
But the good news is you're in this situation where you're learning this, right? You're learning.
Yeah.
Like, it's not life and death, and you end up learning. Yeah, so when you talk about you'd really like to see each kid develop, and you'd really like to see them all get better. I think that's 100% true, and I don't think there's nothing to be argued on that. And then on the other side, I'd also like one thing that we maybe saw last night, and one thing that you can see here or can happen is at their best, they're as good as anybody in the district.
Yep.
Resiliency when things start to go bad, right? If you start to have some. What's the word I'm looking for? Like adversity.
Yep.
How are you going to respond to
Yep.
it? And it makes sense that an all 14-year-old team would struggle a little bit with it. Boy, that's a nice stretch. That was close. That was really close. Good job by Helmowski stopping that ball because that could have really been a disaster. But he did a nice job stopping it.
I like how he gloved that, but I think he's got to come up and grab that and get that off a different bounce. And he's got to step and throw. He's not stepping and throwing, so you really don't know where he's going. But he made a good play, and I tell you what, Luke Komelski made he made a good saver because that guy's on second. You lose your force that way. So team's got to keep their head up here.
Ooh, nice bunt. Nice bunt. What
Good
a play.
Great play by Joe.
What a play. When I see that bunt, I'm thinking, like, that's pure genius by
LaMoure.
Waldy there, right? Because he's like, they're struggling a little bit, and if they are struggling with adversity and they're starting to get a little crazy, that's a perfect play that can go into right field and do whatever. Kappas makes a great play, throws it to Helmowski. They're out of the inning. Great job by the Railcats getting that last out, closing out the inning.
Yep.
And let's see what we do in the next half inning here. Keep watching yourliveevent.com.
At Casselton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Casselton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Casselton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
Welcome back. Welcome back here as we move into the bottom of the third inning. Good inning for LaMoure A's there. Got the big 5 innings, getting the lead. We'll see what Thiel just does with that lead. Hey, anyone from the LaMoure side that has really stuck out to you?
Not in particular. I fully expect LaMoure to do what they're doing. This isn't a surprise. I really can't give you an answer on that because I think that as much as I think LaMoure is doing well here, I think what's going on here more of anything, I think that Casselton is kind of has kind of got a couple errors here that they need to kind of just calm down and settle down and make some plays. I think they'll be just fine.
Nice attempt there by Lucina. And new life there for Big Rakota.
Now batting number 14, Kate
tell you what, Jack Lennon packs a punch when he hits. He just doesn't.
He does.
He's not a very big kid, but you cannot tell me that he doesn't look like the hitter that he's portrayed. I'll be honest with you.
No, I'm going to explain this terribly, but I was down right by the dugout there last night and watched him hit the ones over right field. And there's something in his midsection that like he just really gets a lot of power out of every inch of his body. Like, it's legit. It's not something where he lucked out and just swung as hard as he can and got it. Like, it's just a legit swing that he's going to hit with a lot of power if he keeps that same approach and same way that he swings there. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, I anticipate him getting stronger as he's a wrestler. I just don't see that going away. 2-1 here to Kennedy. I think the Casselton to kind of start settling down would be they're going to need get some sort of hit going here. I think any base runner, there you go. That's what I like to see. You know, a guy could just walk down, but he pitch got by him, sprinted down a little bit until he knew that there was nothing else, so he slowed up. But it's a good hustle play. Easton Lip coming to the plate here.
Here comes Easton, hit the ball hard last time up. And there you go, got the move to first. Keeping Kennedy honest there at first base as he dives back in. Nice throw down, not quite in time. Nice job by Kennedy, taking the force away, advancing and getting into scoring position here with one out. Now, if Easton hits it hard like he did last time, he could be there.
Good cut. Good cut.
Down on the count here. Gonna swing hard. You know, I love how hard he swings. He's got a good base to him, you know, which allows him to do that. And then he really lets it rip. It's kind of fun to watch him swing. Ooh, close play as Kennedy slides in head first to third there. That was close. That was close. And here we go. Now there's quite a few other ways that you can score that runner. And as Lip digs in here behind in the count, 1-2. Boy, he seemed to have a little extra zip on that ball, and like you talked about, right on the outside corner. You know, that's just a perfect pitcher's pitch right there.
You really can't. It is, because you can't, unless you're basically standing outside of that, you know, batter's box, or inside on the outside part of that batter's box, you're not going to touch it.
Yeah.
So you're you know, kind of screwed in, you know, verbatim, or for lack of a better word there, because, you know, it's tough to hit that pitch.
Well, it's hard for any age to stay within yourself, to just be willing to, you know, hit something hard over the first baseman's head or between first and second, let alone 14, 15-year-old to do it, right?
Yeah, it's a good snag by
Whoa, came high out of the throw there, and so that will be a big run for the Railcats. Get one back. Nice to see the hustle right out of the box there, really hustling the whole time.
Number 16,
by Kappas there. And here comes Luka Malski, first baseman.
I think if they'll just, I think he could, if he wants that one back, because he knows obviously that what he did wrong. You know, and it was more than just throwing it over the pitcher or the first baseman's head. I think he rushed it, and he didn't step and throw, and I think it sailed on him.
Yeah, for people that aren't here, it's gotten quite, or at least when we were walking up here, it got quite warm here. Maybe there's a little bit of a sweaty hand thing going on there. But there we got the hit by pitch by Helmowski. He will move to first base. Now the Railcats continue to have something cooking here. Only down 1, and we have a runner coming in for Helmowski. That's Brody Finkston. Really enjoy these Finkston kids. Talk to his dad a lot, and he got a late start with the guys, or they kind of got a late start with baseball, and kind of taking the long view on it. And each year they climb the ladder and get a little better each year, and they'll maybe a little improve. And it's kind of fun to see both kids improve at different rates, and they just stick with it. They'll be fine. Throw gets past the runner, but nice backup there by the LaMoure center fielder, DeVries. Not a surprise that they're right behind that back in the
Yeah, that's an expectation.
Yeah, it builds in a lot of margin, right? It's fun to play that type of baseball, to be able to throw it around and try and get people out, and it really does keep people close. But if you have to be perfect on it with nobody backing up, like 14, 15-year-olds aren't going to be perfect, let alone
100%.
we watch a lot of Legion, and they're not going to be perfect at it either.
Yeah, and that's
so you got to build in margin.
Without and some people call that a great play. LaMoure and the teams like that, and even Casselton even call that expectation.
Yeah, just
standard,
just up play, right? Nice play there. The Crosby Shockman gets a little pretty easy ground ball there, and it's right by the base, so super handy to just step right over there and get the out. We will now move on to the top of the 4th inning. Close game. 5 for LaMoure A's, 4 for the Casselton Railcats. Keep watching here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Parks and Recreation provides a wide range of programs, activities, and community events throughout the year. From parks, facilities, shelters, and outdoor spaces, they're perfect for gatherings, recreation, and enjoying a peaceful break in nature. Enjoy Cottonwood Golf Course for a fun and challenging round of golf for every skill level. To book a tee time or to find out more about Casselton Parks and Recreation, go online to CasseltonParks.com. That's CasseltonParks.com.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. We're excited to be back.
Center fielder, number 2, Crosby, Tripke. Belsky slides over to center, Casselton right.
All right, Crosby, Tripke into pitch. And, okay, Kennedy's still in left. Kosowski's in center field. Kappas is in right. And I believe that is the last change, unless there's, nope, and here comes Eamon, so that's the last change.
I see the Coach Logan Broughton is behind the plate warming Tripke up. I'll bet you a buck he could still throw a guy out at second like it's nothing.
No question. No question. Smart player, fun player, good leader last year for the Legion program. Fun to watch him from afar at Dickinson State, and fun to watch him. It will be fun to watch him this summer down playing on the collegiate team after this season's done.
He became one of the favorites of the guys in the dugout after, during last year's season, after all the experience and all the little things that he shared with the guys, and little things and tidbits that you can, as a senior statesman, can show the younger guys and make them better.
Yeah, here comes Brooks Elber. Yeah, you really think about that. We've talked a lot about what, we both have 18-year-olds, and you talk about a lot about what 18-year-olds can do. Well, what Logan chose to do with his last year at Legion was he really helped a lot of those kids with their approach. I think he really showed the kids how to compete, showed them how to be tough. That was a very well spent last year of Legion for Mr. Broughton.
Yeah, and they were rewarded handsomely for it with a state runner-up.
Yeah, a lot of fun for a lot of us in the community to watch them and be part of that. Have them take us along for the ride a little bit, and something we'll remember for a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously, we wish we'd have got that last one, but that doesn't take away the journey. The journey was a ton of fun.
You bet. Good pitch.
Albert goes down on strikes. Tripke with a strikeout, his first with the first batter he faces here, and that will bring Zach Paul up, the right fielder. We love Jeremy Center on scoreboard, but we're excited to be joined here with Max Coppervig up in the press box, getting ready to coach his team in the championship here at VPT Field of the 2026 Diamond Days.
I just feel smarter when he's in the room.
That could be taken two ways. but I know what you mean, and it's a compliment to Max, right?
Yeah, for sure it is.
Nice block, Baziman. Been good crowds this weekend. Fun to see people come out and watch some baseball. There's no gate fees for any of the youth stuff or the Babe Ruth stuff. Fun to hear some of the Babe Ruth teams already talking about coming back for next year, and good experience with it. And I think the good experience was they really liked the other teams, right? The fact that we got a bunch of rain this overnight, and you knew you could play on time, and you're going to get out of here on time, and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a fun weekend.
Yeah, you think about the rain that we've gotten this weekend, and I can tell you right now, if we didn't have this turf, we wouldn't be where we are to right now. There's just no question.
Yeah, no, we running the 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U. I mean, the community is. We all are, and we're playing on Diamond 1 at the Reservoir. We're playing on Diamond 2. We're playing on a couple of the smaller fields here up Coss Field and Ready Tech Field, as well as Valley Process Technology Field. And Diamond 1 was unplayable. And we've had plenty of years like that where the big field used to be unplayable. And the great part is we could focus all of our efforts on Diamond 2 and know that everything up here is going to be ready to go. And we're pretty appreciative of that.
For sure, absolutely.
Tripke doing a nice job here. DeVries, the leadoff hitter, is up. You'd really like to, if you're the Railcats, you're thinking it'd be nice to have the leadoff hitter get out. So we're running behind. Sorry, I should have told you. We had the national anthem singer for our championship game show up early for that, because we are running behind here, and shame on me for not letting her know earlier.
Heaven forbid you have you got a billion things going on around here.
Simple brain struggles with some of that. So here comes number 32, Oliver Lesko. But we're so appreciative of all the volunteers, all the workers, all the people that are just like helping out in every single way imaginable. We talked a little bit last night about Matt Verkota, who's just done so many things. He threw out his back, and he's about immovable, but you just couldn't keep him away. I seen him walking down there by the first base dugout. So there's so many people in this community that just can't help but help, and I would say him and so many of these other people fit that description.
Oh,
nice throw.
Get
nice
him.
throw.
Yeah, the boy.
That was a really good throw. A great tag by center too. Zeman, though, that was a wonderful throw down. Good slide step by Tripke. Just good all around, good baseball. Keep watching here for more great baseball on yourliveevent.com.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North. Always true.
Welcome back. Here we go. We're moving to the bottom of the 4th inning here. LaMoure with the slight edge, 5-4. And Tripke leading off. You know, a story I think we probably have said on air one time, maybe have not, but something that I know you and I have talked about, Cale, was one of the first games that we did. Tripke and Zeman weren't playing in the first game.
Yeah.
And you just never know how people are gonna, you know what I mean? And there's plenty of kids that have to do that, so they weren't doing anything special that anyone else was doing. But then they played in the second game, and one thing we noticed right away is they're both hustling right out of the gate.
Yeah.
They're both doing whatever they can to help the team win. Told us a lot about the mindset and the fact they're not going to pout, and the fact that they're just going to be really good at the job they're doing, and just like and nothing that we've seen for the rest of the year up to this point has changed our mind.
No,
on it.
and actually it's probably enhanced it. And quite honestly, like I said earlier, I said those are 2 kids you build your programs behind.
Yeah, you know, it's one thing to talk about effort and attitude and culture and chemistry and all that kind of stuff. It's more importantly when we just have a couple of kids doing it, and then a couple of kids turns into 4 kids, and 4 kids turns into 6 kids. And I think what we're really happy about this weekend and throughout the season is we have 2 coaching staffs that are pushing that, right? Like they're really making sure that is the expectation. So and we know these kids aren't going to be perfect, right? But you're always moving in the right direction. So we're really appreciative of the coaches doing that.
Yeah,
Here comes Case Kasalski after the ground out by Tripke. Go ahead, Kale.
No, I think we're looking at Case here. I think he's due for a hit here. He hasn't been playing great in the outfield and in the pitching, but
yeah, he did. He had the phenomenal catch out there and right, and now he's moved over to center. Great pitching last night. Talk about field rat. We talked about that with Jack Lennon. Case would definitely fall under that category as well.
yeah, he is I think field rat maybe is a little bit short-sighted for him in that case, because he's whenever he can be here, he's here.
Yeah.
Without.
Yeah.
You know, and his other brother Carver, I think, is the same way. And I think basically what happens is that you know, he looks up to Carver, and I think this is one of those things where, you know, he's glad to oblige him by, you know, inviting himself along.
Yeah, here comes center. Talon Center, really good outing the first night. We talked about a good play that he made at short today. That was just, you know, he's really been a good, well-rounded player for quite a few years here in Casselton.
Yeah, I think he's another kid you build around. You know, I think he's got the he has a baseball to me, and I don't know him very well, and I would say just by watching him this weekend, he has got an absolute baseball mind. So another kid that hustles, knows what's going on around him, and does what it takes to get what he needs to get done.
You got a little jam shot there. Oh, nice play. Nice play by Theolgis. I thought that was going to get through to the third base and shortstop, but kind of had that go-go gadget arm, go out there and grab it and get you out there at first. We will now move to the top of the 5th inning. Keep watching on YourLiveEvent.com.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile Project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yield and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Welcome back. We're moving to the top of the 5th inning. LaMoure holding a slight lead over the Railcats. It's just been a good game all the way around. We've really seen some good defensive plays in this game, which is kind of funny because 5-4 is not like a super low-scoring game, but it really seems like the defenses have played exceptionally. You know, it's something that's interesting. You know, we got to watch 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old. We're getting to watch Babe Ruth. We've watched a ton of Legion this year. And you really can, like, a good brand of baseball is a good brand of baseball. It doesn't matter what age it is. And that's what it seems like both of these teams for Casselton are working towards that this year. The brand is continuing to get better for their age group and for their team. And it's something that teams like LaMoure and Thompson and, you know, many of the teams that are here have done for a long time.
Yeah, it's and I would consider, you know, Casselton, you know, obviously I'm a little biased, but, you know, kind of in with that crew.
Yeah.
You know, LaMoure, Thompson, and, you know, Carrington, you could throw them in there as well. I mean, they're
moving in a really good direction.
They are, and I talked to one of their coaches after the game today, and I said, boy, you got some nice 13s, and he loved it this weekend. I think he is one that they will definitely be back next year, and I think he was pretty appreciative and grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, they have an interesting team. They got, I think he said they have about 5 starting 13-year-olds on that team, and they're already competing. So that can always make you excited about the future of baseball in your community. And one thing that's really interesting talking to him is he's like, they're just kids that just love to do it. You know, they just go and do it. They spend a lot of time. One nice play. Nice play by Case. That's not an easy play, right? And he doesn't play a lot of outfield. He you know, it's funny, we do this on Friday morning. Sometimes we'll do this wrong way turn drill. And that's exactly what he did. Kind of started over his throwing hand shoulder, and then he adjusted to the glove hand, and really made it look easy. And that is not an easy play at all. Here comes number 28, Easton Theolgis. Easton done a nice job pitching and fielding on the mound there. Big kid. Oh man, got it right in the head there from Tripke.
Yeah, I tell you what, you know, LaMoure, and I've been playing against LaMoure since I was a young kid, and I tell you what, this is a blue collar town. It's not, you're going to get they're going to work. They're not going to be small people, you know, they're farmers, they're just workers, you know, they work. So, I mean, you know, when it comes to baseball, you know, that's a job to them. So they're going to work, and you're going to see the fruits of their labor here. And it's just for the last how many years you've been seeing that.
Yeah, they're gonna err on the side of thinking they can beat you. You know, there's just not a lot of excuses there. They're gritty, and I enjoy watching them.
Yeah, and I would say most of the time they're right.
You know, one thing I'm fascinated by is, you know, I've always had this theory with LaMoure that, you know, they really know the X's and O's of baseball, and I kind of thought, well, boy, there's some years where we see they have kids playing at, you know, a few different levels, so they really, you know, they get a lot of baseball, so maybe that's part of it. One thing that I find really interesting is they have 19 kids on this roster. You know, they have a lot of kids coming, so I'm interested on. I need to talk to someone from LaMoure to see like what ages are all those kids, because fun to see a full roster for them. You know, that is probably something that's a little different usually with us, is that we might have more kids than they do, but they have more kids playing more at a bunch of different levels. Yeah. You know, which kind of lends to, it's a little easier to know all the situations and coach all of it. But you have the downsides, of course, of there's only so many arms, there's only so many kids to choose from, there's only so many people pushing you. So I'm fascinated by that, fascinated by their 19 guys in the roster.
Yeah, and they, I think it's the iron sharpening iron them with that group.
Always fascinating as well to kind of know what all towns are part of your deal, right? You know, of course, every community has a little bit of that, where there's some small towns or towns that are right next to you that kind of feed into it. It's interesting with all these Babe Ruth towns where each of the kids come from.
Yeah.
Got a walk there by Arndt. Go ahead, Kale.
Sometimes those, you're watching, and I apologize, but I my eyes always go to the catcher because on situations like a pass ball or a wild pitch or whatever, but I try to see their lateral movements and stuff like that. But sometimes, they miss balls because they just can't play. They just plain and simple can't get to it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing because you can have, there's certain.
Oh, that's an amazing play right there.
Yeah, he hit that hard to right. And there's another run for them. Kappas is going to try and get him in third. Not quite in time. So the LaMoure A's take a 6-4 lead here, and it will remain with runners at first and third with 2 outs.
Looks like they had a little hit and run going there, or it could have been a straight steal. I don't know, but at any rate, you just never know with the LaMoure team because they're pretty well versed on either situation. So either way, it worked out because I pushed it to right, got him move it over to moved over to third base.
I don't know how that didn't hit him.
Yeah.
Somehow went right behind his back, it looked like. Waldy's a player that we've liked here. Fun to see him at shortstop. Fun to see. Seems to be a good player that it just kind of feels like in a few years we'll be like, oh yeah, there's that shortstop for LaMoure. That's such a stud. Outside corner, like you talked about there, a little outside the outside corner, I should say, for a ball. See if they can close out the inning, get this last out, keep within 2.
Nice pitch. I like to see Zeman keeping him honest.
Yeah, there's a throw over there. There's an example of you'd really like to see your backups moving over there, right? Getting over there, get the left fielder over there, maybe even the shortstop a little bit. And here we go. Got guys on. Got bases loaded. 2 outs. And Brooks Elber coming to the plate, the 8th hitter for LaMoure. Second baseman. See if Tripke can work his way out of this jam. That's a good start, throwing the first pitch for a strike. Count is even, 1-1. Some of the defensive players from the Railcats getting some help from the stands there. Less the not as well paid coaches from the stands helping out.
I tell you what.
And not that coaches are well paid, but you know how that goes. Okay, nice block there by Zeman.
Yeah, that's right now is where he's getting paid.
Yeah, it's bases loaded there. Like you talked about earlier, really want to be able to trust what you can throw. And those blocks help there, but we will stay with the bases loaded and another run there. So now a 3-run lead. We've seen this. This is what we've talked about with Railcats. You really need to be resilient here. You really need to handle adversity well. You need to close out the inning. It's something we've watched the Blackstockings do really well recently. Done a good job of when things start to get a little hairy. They've done a nice job of closing out the inning on defense with their pitching and defense. We'll see if Railcats can do that here. We got Paul, the right fielder. A little low on that pitch. Yeah, so you were talking about there's certain balls that you really can't block. You want your catcher to block as much as possible. But how far out, what's kind of the general rule of when you don't try to block it, you're just trying to stab it, trying to get your glove on it?
I think anything outside each side's batter's box. I think if you can get lateral on each side of the batter's box, I think you're probably stretching it. But anytime you get something that's a little bit further out, sometimes that happens.
So you're thinking like inside lines of the batter box.
Yes.
Anything outside of that, you're going to stab.
I think if you can just even if you just knock it down, and then I know Grayson, my son Grayson, has got to that point where he's gotten to know the pitchers pretty well. So I think sometimes he backhands when he could move, but and I think otherwise moving lateral is a strength of his in my opinion, but I tell you right now, you got to really get to know your pitchers in order to do, because he knows usually where the guys are going to throw it, typically. And there you go again. He blocks the ball and keeps it.
It was hard to see. Did he kind of block that off?
He did.
His
It kind of
side,
hit the ground and hit him. He knocked it down. He goes right to his knees, and it blocks it, and it got kind of pushed to the side. But he kept it in his front of him.
Yep.
He's seeing where the ball's at, and then he hustles after it. You can't teach that stuff.
Yeah, kept the runners where they're at, so that's gotta like that.
Keep the ball, like they say in basketball. In this case, you want to keep the ball between you and the runners.
Nice pitch there by Tripke. Payoff pitch here coming up. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Runners will be moving. Another inside pitch here. And that will walk him, and now LaMoure has him doubled up, and Coach Stegg is coming out, and we're expecting a pitching change here. So we will go to break. Keep watching on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Welcome to the 130th Annual Norman County Fair, June 24th through 27th, Ada, Minnesota. FFA Day. New this year, Jindo Bingo, the Big Air ATV show in the RJ Broadcasting Grandstand. Plus free music, basketball challenge, Check 6 Veterans Day, Youth Day, Senior Day, racing, the Mooncats, lumberjack shows, and so much more. For the full schedule, visit NormanCountyFair.com. Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 24th through 27th. It's where summer begins, the fun never ends.
The world of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at raceway.com.
Order yours today, and we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
Welcome back. In comes Caden Kennedy here with the bases loaded. And he will be facing the leadoff hitter, Max DeVries. Good to see some other arms get in and all that. And at the same time, it's a time where, as coaches, you can be like, boy, I have to get through this now so we can be ready for league games. You want to finish strong here. You'd love to end with a win. And you're still managing how do we get those counters this coming week.
Yeah, he looks like he's comfortable out there. Throws hard.
Yep.
As long as he's throwing strikes, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, we've seen him do a lot of catching. He was in left field today.
Yeah, that's
throw over to first base. Yeah, you'd like to see him take that short one there, but got the out. Nice throw across the diamond, and we'll move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-4, LaMoure A's. Keep watching yourliveevent.com.
Stay Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
We are back here. It is the bottom of the 5th inning. LaMoure leading 8-4 over the Railcats.
Oh my God.
They'll just still in.
Yeah, he's
LaMoure.
Let's see what he's got for pitches here. He's last, huh?
He looks like the prototypical workhorse here from LaMoure. Nice throw down as well from Lesko. Here comes Jack Glennon.
Field just, wow, you talk about efficient. He's thrown 66 pitches, 52 for strikes.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
That's about as accurate or as efficient as a guy can get.
Yeah, you love that. Coaches love that.
See if Jack can get his pitch here. You know, I know this is a weird comparison, but being a lefty, he reminds me so much of Ellery Bresnahan. Just when he swings, he's so loose. When he swings, he's so comfortable in the box. Now that's a pretty big step in the shoes, but I'm not saying he's as good as Ellery or anything like that, because Ellery was an absolute exceptional player.
Yeah.
But just in the box, he reminds me of Ellery a lot. He is comfortable. His swing is smooth. He's quick out of the box to run to first. I think he's got a lot of good tools, and he's smart.
Nice block there by Glennon. It's interesting that you used the word comfortable. I was watching that last semifinal game last night, and I was past the first base dugout at one point, and watching him at second base, and there's a really big play, ground ball to second, and I guess what struck me was just how loose he was and how confident he was. That you could tell it looked like he absolutely wanted that ball, and he wasn't thinking about. Oh boy, there's a chance I might miss that. Oh boy, there's this could happen, that could happen. He was like, give me that ball, let me get the out, and let's go hit.
Yeah.
And fun to see.
Yep, certainly is. Doesn't seem to get too rattled.
But that was quite the throw from DeVries out in center field. Yeah. And nice job hustling back by Glennon, because that was an absolute bang-bang play at first base. Jack going for the steal. Nice job getting out of the forces there and getting into scoring position here for Easton Lip.
Yeah, there's that outside strike again. Good Lord.
Yeah, tough one to deal with there. And when you named off his stats about how many strikes he's thrown and all that, not surprising that he's able to locate on the corners there some too. Ground ball to Lucina. Lip is going to beat that one out.
It's good hustle. And there's that Brent. There's that special thing we talked about where, and I can guarantee that Lucina makes that play more times than he doesn't. But at any rate, he's 15 years old. And occasionally he's gonna make an error, and that's why you run hard to each base.
Yeah, and and you think about it, if you're playing against a team that tends to jog to first, tends to just when they're a little upset about a ground ball, they won't go hard. That's much more comfortable for the fielder. You kind of know that you don't need to hustle that up. You don't need to stab at it. You can just kind of do whatever. It's amazing how many more outs the defense gets when you're not hustling. Nice throw there. Nice throw by their catcher, Lesko, getting Glennon out at third base. And Lucina with the nice tag. Lucina gets some redemption there after the last ground ball. Here's a ground ball to second from Kappas. Speaking of comfortable, the second baseman Elver looked about as comfortable as you could be getting that out.
Yeah.
Keep watching here as we go to the top of the 6th inning. LaMoure A's leading 8-4 over the Casselton Railcats here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
We are back. We are back. And it is the top of the 6th inning. Looking around the outfield here, we got Tripke in left, Kosowski in center, and Kappas in right. Lips at short, at third base, center at short, Glennon at second, first base is Himowski. Behind home plate is Grayson Zeman, and then pitching is Caden Kennedy here as we move into the 6th inning. 8-4 lead by the A's. Still got to feel pretty good about the way the Railcats have played so far this game.
Yeah, they have. They gave up that that 5 runs in that 3rd inning, and I think outside it's 4-3. But that's again, we can say it till we're ad nauseum. That's part of baseball.
Yep. 2 big innings, really, and I guess that's one thing that we've seen so far, right? And it's something that's probably very common with 14-year-old teams, right? Is that it's like if they get to the point this year where those innings turn into 1 or 2 run innings, they're going to be really tough to beat.
Yep.
But if when adversity comes, if they kind of make that 1 or 2 run inning turn into the 3 to 5 run innings, those really. It's going to be hard to hit enough to make up for that.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
All right, here comes Lesko. Nice throw out of Glennon at third. Last inning, big catcher. So our 7th and 8th place game and our 5th and 6th place games both got a little lopsided. The Beulah won, the first game was close. It was just super long. Beulah won 15-12 over Watford City. They were the first game, which at least was handy from the fact that they have a long way to drive after that game was over. Carrington beat Lisbon 16-2 in the 5th place game. And here we are sitting with LaMoure and Railcats in a good game here in the 3rd and 4th place game. And we're super excited for the Thompson Blackstocking game next. And there he goes down on strikes. Lesko does. Deal just coming up to the plate. One thing I noticed there, Cale, not happy with the strikeout, right? Of course, nobody would be. He kind of thought that it was ball 4, so he kind of started. But the second Georgia calls out a strike, grabs his bat, jogs back to the dugout. Talk about expectation and standard.
No, that is. I think that is an absolute standard. There is no exceptions.
I just have a feeling that might be one of those things where It's whoa! That ball's crushed. That ball was crushed foul there by Fieldgis. I just kind of have a feeling in LaMoure, if you do something different than that, it might not just be your coach yelling at you. There might be a couple grandmas yelling at you to do it the right way.
Yeah, I think there'd be a line of people letting you know that that's not acceptable. But I think they've probably learned by example one way or the other, and they would rather not go through that again. So
yeah,
that's just like you said, that's a standard.
Yeah, and like we talked about earlier, none of them are perfect. No one's perfect. I'm sure there's plenty of times, and like you say, we're always kind of hardest on our own. We hold our we're very complimentary of other teams, and as we should be, and we just have to remember that these kids still are young and they still are improving, and we still just have to keep on pushing them in that right direction, which is something that we're super happy with our teams, and it's really fun to see in other teams like LaMoure and some of the others we've been playing.
Yeah.
So here we go, 1 out. We got a full count here. Ground ball to center. Moves to his left. Strong throw to Helmowski. And 2 outs. And here comes Crosby Shockman, first baseman for LaMoure. Big number 37 here. So what do you think about, I know you're a big fashion guy, right? And you really love how different things look, different uniforms look, and all that kind of stuff. What do you think about this old Oakland A's type coloring that the A's have?
I like them. I like the yellow ones better. I told them, I saw the kids yesterday, and I told them, I said, boy, I like those jerseys on. Yeah, I like the yellows. And Grady Mueller just blessed us with his presence in here. We always love to see Grady.
Absolutely. Remind me to tell the viewers a story about Grady Mueller after this. We could give him compliments all night long, and we just might. So stay tuned for that, and we will also watch some great baseball here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Keep watching on YourLiveEvent.com.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is accepting applications for a broadcast sales representative. Applicant should be self-motivated, organized, have ability to communicate clearly, and the desire to help our customer partners grow their business with customer service for their advertising and marketing needs. All experience levels are encouraged to apply. To apply, email your resume to apply@rjbroadcasting.com. R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
All right, welcome back here as we get our scoreboard right, and we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning here. LaMoure leads 8-4 over the Railcats. Kale was just talking about Grady Mueller, a young man here from Casselton who just came in to. He just finished a bunch of umping games here for the weekend, and was just checking on what the next steps were there.
On the reserve list, number 15, Luke Belter.
All right, here comes Luke Belter, getting a little PT, getting a little at bat here. It'll be fun to see him with the bat. Thank you so much, Greg. Appreciate it. All right, to continue the Grady thing, our Legion team was up in the. Here's all you need to know about Grady Mueller. Our Legion team was up in Devil's Lake, had a tough doubleheader. Really didn't play very well. The next morning usually we do this thing where we do this Friday morning optional. Before I'm out of the parking lot ready to go home, I have a text from Grady Mueller wondering if we have that the next morning. And not only did he want to show up at 8 o'clock to do it, he wants to show up at 7:25 so he can get some extra pop flies, because that was one of the first nights he's playing outfield and doing that, and it's just like that's just who he is. That's just who that kid is. So when he came up here, that's the first thing I thought of. And
any way to get better.
Any way to get better. I think maybe even the bigger compliment is it's not a surprise. We just knew. We knew that's kind of what he's going to do. Just like this weekend, he umped every single time slot of 11 and 12-year-old or 9 and 10-year-old baseball this weekend, and was one of those kids out there looking for another time slot instead of having to beg him to do that stuff. Kudos.
Pretty much
Cody and Kayla, the parents there, and kudos to Grady mostly.
Yeah, it's Grady in a nutshell.
I'll get a hold of you after the championship game to pay you, okay? What's that? I'll get a hold of you after the championship game to pay you. All right, we are back here, and like I say, we have umps coming in the booth here and finding out that next steps and seeing what they have to do there. That's the fun part of that is getting paid afterwards, right? So apologize for the dead space there. Grayson Zeman up to bat. The ground ball here. Shockman just continues to hop off the mound really well on those plays. And it seems like we've had a lot of ground balls to the pitcher.
And now we lead off batter Crosby Tripke.
Crosby Tripke coming to plate with 2 outs. Crosby got a little bit of time on the mound. Seems to play center field the most. Hits the ball there to second base. Looks like you're going to get a little bobble there. And the Railcats have something going on here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here comes Case Kasowski. It's been fun to watch Case play a little bit of outfield, hasn't it?
Yeah. But again, I anytime I enjoy watching him because he's a unique individual. Like he's just we talked about being a field rat, and the kid can probably play anywhere, and I probably could. He could play everywhere.
Yeah.
But he just never ceases to amaze.
Yeah, could play anywhere. Is going to have a good attitude wherever he plays. Is going to play hard wherever he plays. Right. Nice throw. That's going to be a close play. Looks like he got him. Got him at third there.
But you make that turn every time. I mean, that's part of baseball.
Tripke out at third, and now we will move to the 7th inning here with an 8-4 lead for the A's. Keep watching on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
All right, we are back here in the 7th inning. 8-4 lead here by the A's. Kennedy continues on the mound, looking around to see if there's any more defensive changes. Looks like Hayden Morgan comes into first base. And as we look around, I think that's the only change. The lefty, another one of the guys that was down at the wrestling camp this week. At least I would assume so. His dad was. Looking over for confirmation as Joe is announcing this evening. Interesting. The flags look interesting tonight. It's like one going left to right and one going down there. So
they can't decide.
No. here comes Alan Lucina, big third baseman here for LaMoure. The adjective we have used the most tonight for LaMoure is big.
Large.
Yeah.
And not only big, but good, big and strong.
Yeah, good players. Good players, well schooled. Good games though. Really been a fun game to watch, competitive game to watch. Just like you had mentioned, a lot of different pitchers here tonight for the Railcats, and that was kind of by design. The opposite for LaMoure tonight. The Ilgis has just been super efficient on the mound, throwing a ton of strikes, high percentage of strikes. Speaking of strikes, it's one there from Kennedy.
I tell you what, as I see Lucina in the batter's box, that bat that, you know, I'm sure everybody in their dog uses looks absolutely small in his hands.
Yeah, it does. It does. Foul ball there.
Yikes. So, like, you know, Georgia Hughes behind the plate is a big dude. He's standing toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah. Pop fly there. Morgan running hard after it. Kennedy running after it. Landed right in the Bermuda Triangle there.
Yeah, those are tough plays. Again, that's a play I'd maybe like to see my catcher go after too.
Yeah. Yep.
Again, and as they get older, I think the priority, business then starts to get a little more clear, and that's an amazing at bat.
Yeah, that's a nice hit up the middle there for Lucina. One thing, but like you say, one thing is for sure, regardless of priority, you all go after it. Right?
Yep.
I'll go after it, and then let the priority play itself out when everyone's yelling, and the one with the priority gets the ball there. So here comes Waldy, shortstop for LaMoure. Pick-off attempt there from Kennedy to Morgan. Got to watch the younger Morgan play a little bit today over on Diamond 2 in the youth version of the tournament, the Diamond Days tournament.
That's a dandy.
Good bunt. Good bump, a good play. Good play by Kennedy to Morgan there. Got the first out of the inning, a big and important out. And I think that's one of those plays where everybody will take that trade-off. LaMoure will take the moving them up to try and add one more insurance run. And at this point, I really think they're loving I think the Railcats are loving the out here as well. So in to hit now is number 29, Jace Riddle. Stop me if you've heard this before. Another big guy.
Not in the last 2 minutes.
So you like the Oakland A's old yellow and green here, kind of old school jerseys, and
yeah.
And you like the other night you talked about you like the t-shirt look.
I do. For tournaments and stuff like that, I like the t-shirt look. It's a little more informal, but yet sharp. I don't have one certain preference of uniform. I'm a t-shirt button, like a kind of a quarter button down, if you will. I know at one point the Blackstockings used to wear like a pinstripe vest. I don't know if they still do that or not, but that's sharp as well. And then the Haymakers, they have a full set of pins. My favorite though of theirs is probably the black with the pin pants. Admittedly, when it comes to the MLB, I like the city select uniforms.
There you go. He gets to come into the game and he gets hit in the head.
Wow,
that's the second A that got hit in the head here tonight. And the A's now have something brewing here with guys on first and second, one out. And Zach Paul, the right fielder, coming to the plate.
Back when I was young, and I suppose I was probably 13, 14 years old, when we always loved playing in LaMoure, other than the fact they would kill us. But they're the only team that was the only team we got to play on a grass infield. It was like going to the Taj Mahal.
Oh, sure. A lot of skin
was
infields back then.
Yeah, there was no egg or lime. And, being from Cogswell, that's where rocks, grow to boulders in the infield.
Yeah, I know. I've heard you and Ryan Bussey talk about how after each practice you each have to fill up your gloves with rocks. And
yep. And for whatever reason, as many times as we did that, they never got any less.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
Coach had a question there for Georgia Hughes.
That's Heath Schaefer over there at third. He's a brother of a college roommate of mine.
Okay.
You know what? I really like how Caden is throwing. He's throwing a couple outside the zone. As we all know, but I do like his confidence up there. I like how he's approaching it.
Yeah.
And nice attempt there by Talon Center.
Yep. Gets through on the hole there, just off the glove. Definitely a hit. Big extra run there for LaMoure.
Stepping to the plate, number 1, Maddox Green.
That will make it 9-4 here in the top of the 7th inning for the A's. And up to the top of the order, center fielder Maddox DeVries for the A's. Foul ball, looked like that got through and to the stands there. Yeah.
Looks like we'll have to batten up the hatches on that. There's a few balls that have gotten in there in the last week or so. With my luck, I'm surprised one hasn't came back and got me. That's my luck.
Here you go, ground ball to center. Has another chance at an out there. Gets the lead runner. Nice job moving his feet, getting ready for that throw.
That's and I think when you are at this point, you think, okay, I'm going to keep my force on. I don't think I can get the double play here, so that means I'm going to keep my force on at every base versus for just first and second. Not a bad play there.
Yeah, you're really hard to argue with going to third or second there. I think he made the right move going to third.
Yeah,
I don't think he thought that Zeman was going to handle that one so well. As well as he did, I mean. And here we go. We are in the hot box. And the entire Railcat team is in the hot box.
Every one of them.
You got the out.
What an absolute
that's
fun
thing
to see that.
Yeah, that's kind of fun, right? That's fun at any age.
Not necessarily the rules, but who cares? I mean, that was fun. I enjoyed watching that because they all got into it a little bit, and what a fun thing to do.
Yeah, here we go. We're moving on to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your Railcats get another shot. The score is 9-4. LaMoure A's leading them in the 3rd place game of the 2026 Diamond Days tournament. Keep watching on yourliveevent.com.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Welcome back here for the bottom of the 7th inning. 9-4. LaMoure over the Railcats.
And we talk about being blessed right now. And guess who just walked in? My favorite haymaker.
welcome, Jack. Jack Everson is going to be doing the announcing here for the championship game. So showed up here. We're running quite a bit behind schedule. The championship game is supposed to start at 5 o'clock. With what we found out with this last game, though, is the turnaround is quick. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're starting by 6 o'clock, depending on how this finishes here. So stick around. Don't go too far. Here comes Talent Center leading off this inning. The talented shortstop and pitcher here for the Casselton Railcats. And who's our pitcher in here for LaMoure?
What number is he?
Got a new pitcher in.
Thomas
Waldy.
The shortstop, number 18, Thomas Waldy, coming to pitch. So now our next job is to find out who the new shortstop is. And we're finding it out here live on air, just like the rest of you here. So DeVries, the center fielder, moves to shortstop. And I wonder if your pitcher maybe went to center. Not a bad idea. Pitcher went to catcher. Okay, there you go. So Let's Go's catching. Thank you to Joe Morgan, our PA announcer tonight, filling us in. And Shockman's still at first base, it looks like. Lacina's still still at third base. Brooks Elber still at second base.
No, I think
Lesko, the catcher, moved to center field.
Yeah, and then Easton Thielages is the catcher. I think that's his primary spot when he's not pitching.
Okay, Paul out in right field still. My guesses aren't still in left. Nice hit there by center. Here comes Jack Lennon to the plate.
Yep, that's Lesko.
Number 0, Jack Lennon.
Here comes Jack Lennon, the lefty.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Good looking young hitter there. That one's going to get going too. That's going to roll quite a way. Lesko did cut that off. Throwing it strong into second, but the Railcats have something going here with guys on second and third and no outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Boy, you can make a pretty good argument that Glennon is as talented a hitter as they have on this team.
Without question. And like I said, that lefty, the smoothness that comes out of that left-handed batter's box. Again, I will tell you, it just reminds me of a lot of Ellery Bresnahan.
Ooh, nice play.
Yeah,
nice
good
play.
like
Like Kennedy, little duck snort there, right, almost over the second baseman's head, but Albert made a nice play.
Here's the thing I like here. They win or lose here for the Railcats. They're not sailing it in. They're not packing it in here.
Yeah.
They're showing a little resolve here. They got a couple hits.
Yep.
And they got another one there.
Yep.
They're going to score a couple runs here, I think. Game ain't over. I mean,
Nope.
that's the resolve I like to see from this group of 14s.
No question. So now you have runners on first and third. Only one out. And 9-5 game. You got Joe Kappas, the 7-hitter, coming up here, and it really you're pretty even and pretty good up and down the lineup here. So there really is no part in the order that you don't feel pretty good about.
I would agree. Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how active they are here. With Lip at first base. Waldy steps off the back of the mound and looks over. Doesn't have to throw. Yeah, outs are precious here now for both teams. You don't want to give up an out to trade that for a run if you're the Railcats, and you probably would do that now for the A's. You just want another out. We've got guys on second and third. And one out. Comes Kappas. Foul ball there. Nice job on the, that's an outside corner pitch. Really good pitch by Waldy. And really a good swing by Kappas, doing about all he can do with that one. A little further out that time, and that evens the count. Or,
I think what the Railcats need to do now is they just need to be patient. They don't need to press. Hit the pitches that are strikes, and I think they'll be just fine. They need base runners.
Yep. This they gotta like the way this is going here so far. 3-1 count. Guys on second and third. Ooh, that's a good swing too. Good swing as Paul moves back and he misses, or I shouldn't say he misses it. It gets over his head, and that will score another run here. 9-6. The Railcats draw a little bit closer, still with one out. Guys on first and third. And here comes Hayden Morgan, big number 18. Just got into the game here last inning. Batting in the spot that Luke Kamowski came into the game for Luke Kamowski. Three-run game here with one out. I would expect to see Kappas making his way to second here as quick as possible. There he goes. And we're sitting once again here with guys on second and third, one out, 9-6.
And again, I stress the importance of being patient.
Those pitches are just a little bit outside there. Nice pitch, working his way back inside.
Still patient. I like that approach. Not his pitch. Waldy is
good swing there, and it goes right back to the right field there. Ooh, looked like something might be cooking there.
You put a good swing on that. That was a nice. That was a good. That was a good hit.
He absolutely did, and that was not a.
That was not a
benign swing there either, because they did score a run, 9-7. They did get two outs. Probably one of those things both teams are okay with. And now you have the tying run up to the plate in Grayson Zeman. Inside corner pitch. Got the top of the order on deck here. Foul ball. Well, almost had another one come through there to the grandstand, but hit the front of the grandstand and careened off towards the LaMoure A dugout. Yeah, this can be a little scary for the A's because Zeman's fast too. And there he goes. There he's on base, which means he's bound to get over to second here, right? And then all of a sudden you have the tying run in scoring position with your leadoff batter out.
Yeah, with the top of your order here.
Gotta like where you're at right now if you are the Black Stockings.
Railcats.
Railcats, I'm sorry. Coach Schaefer is gonna come out and have a discussion there, and we'll take the opportunity to take a break. Keep watching here on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Casselton Lumber, they want to be part of every stage of your building project from the ground up. Let them assist with planning your project timeline in a way that's affordable and efficient. Casselton Lumber has everything you need to get the look you love with windows, siding, roofing, and doors. From choosing the right materials to the finishing touches, you can count on the folks at Casselton Lumber. Stop in and talk with the crew today or call 347-4471. That's 347-4471.
Thing to name them. Welcome back. Here we are, bottom of the seventh inning. Things are getting interesting here in the third and fourth place game in the 2026 version of Diamond Days. Thank you for watching YourLiveEvent.com here. We are in Valley Process Technology Field in Casselton. We like to call it VPT Field here for short. Crosby tricky. Squares, and looks like that ball is going to get past him, and here we got a one-run game with the tying run in scoring position here in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's getting pretty interesting and exciting for all involved. Crosby Tripke digging in here on the turf. Ahead in the count early. One-run game. You know, it kind of goes back to what we talked about of just imagine if you can keep those 5 and 3-run innings into, you know, 2 and 1-run innings, or even just 4 and 2. You know, you just this is when it matters. You get down to the end there. Just if you keep fighting, chances are that's going to matter at the end. And so here we go. We'll see what Tripke does with this 3-0 count. And now you got the winning run on first base here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And you have Case Kasowski coming up, which you obviously feel great about anytime that he's up.
You got between now him, Case, Talent Center, and Jack Lennon right now. You got to feel pretty comfortable.
Absolutely. So that is the next 3 batters here. Case stepping in here, and you really, in a perfect world, you'd like to be able to get your 2 runners over to second and third without giving up an out here. Give Case a chance to hit you a game winner. Ground ball there between third and short. Lucina makes a nice play to his left there.
Good play.
Good game.
Wonderful game.
You know,
fun.
Clutch play by Lucina. Goes and just makes a play. Nice job by Case, making good contact there. You know, we've seen kids get safe on that very similar hit all game, and not this time. Lucina did a nice job. So that's the 3rd place game there. 3rd place, LaMoure A's 9. 4th place, Casselton Railcats 8. Keep watching here on YourLiveEvent.com. We're going to come back with our awards for the game. And the first one that we will talk about when we come back is the Agassiz Precision Egg Precision Play of the Game. Your local precision planning dealer, Agassiz Precision Egg in Hillsboro. Call 701-436-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Next, we'll talk about the HTC connection of the game. Discover local reliability you can trust. Halstead Telephone. It's how to connect, halsteadtel.com. Usually what Kale and I like to do with that one is more of a hit type thing, where the Agassiz Precision Play is more of a fielding type play. Is kind of how we have done it and plan to do that again. And then last but most certainly not least, Enbridge Player of the Game. Life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities. We will go to break and we will discuss, and we'll come back and hand out some awards. Keep watching on YourLiveEvent.com.
Recreation provides a wide range of programs, activities, and community events throughout the year. From parks, facilities, shelters, and outdoor spaces, they're perfect for gatherings, recreation, and enjoying a peaceful break in nature. Enjoy Cottonwood Golf Course for a fun and challenging round of golf for every skill level. To book a tee time or to find out more about Casselton Parks and Recreation, go online to CasseltonParks.com. That's CasseltonParks.com.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yield and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Welcome to the 130th Annual Norman County Fair, June 24th through 27th, Ada, Minnesota. FFA Day. New this year, Jindo Bingo, the big air ATV show in the RJ Broadcasting Grandstand. Plus free music, basketball challenge, Check 6 Veterans Day, Youth Day, Senior Day, racing, the Mooncats, lumberjack shows, and so much more. For the full schedule, visit NormanCountyFair.com. Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 24th through 27th. It's where summer begins and the fun never ends.
The World of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at ncraceway.com.
Order yours today, and we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
Hey, how's your arm feeling tonight?
Welcome back. Exciting third place game here between the LaMoure A's and the Casselton Railcats. We got some hardware to hand out. First off, the Agassiz play of the game, precision play of the game. Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Agassiz Precision Ag in Hillsboro. Call 701-436-2119 or visit plannerdoc.com. The play of the game, customarily we like to go with whoever the winning team is, but it's really hard not to go with the catch and right.
Yeah, by Case Kozlowski. Yeah, that was he's one that doesn't play out there very often, but he sure looked comfortable making plays when they were hit to him. Come in from the right field spot and made that pop to the foul out catch. Made it look pretty easy.
Absolutely. Fun to see him out there competing and going hard. We were a little nervous about how his hand looked like it folded under, but just a great catch all the way around. And that's the Precision Ag play of the game. So next, we're going to go to the HTC connection of the game. And that's discover local reliability you can trust. Halstead Telephone. It's how to connect. HalsteadTel.com. At the time, we didn't know that this was going to be such an important hit, but talk about the hit from Zach Paul there in the top of the seventh inning.
Yeah, they Ellen Lucina got on base, and they got him around to third, and then Paul had a pretty hard shot to score in Lucina, where Zach Paul ended up getting caught in a run down in third, in between third and second, but. Before that, Lucina scored on that hard round ball, giving the LaMoure A's that ninth run. I mean, if they don't get that, it's tied. So
yeah,
that was a big hit. Again,
yeah, really the deciding run.
Really, what you would want to call a walk off if you really want to get down, down to brass tacks. But
yeah. So great job there by Zach Paul, and our next one is we will go to Enbridge. Player of the game. Life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Hard not to go with the big man on the mound tonight.
Yeah, that's Easton Thielges. He was pretty much he was a dude tonight. And give me a sec here so I can go in and find his pitching stats. He was This is amazing. 95 pitches, 74 strikes.
Whoa.
That's
a high percent.
That is an absolute
That's a
dog.
high percent. How many walks did he have? Did he have any?
Let's see here. He is 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. So
yeah.
Not perfect, but really good. And then despite that, he was 0 for 2, 2 runs scored. Not his best day at the plate, I'm guessing, but I think he did more than enough to keep his team in it and give him a solid win here tonight.
Yeah, one thing we noticed was how he fielded his position. There was a lot of balls that looked like they were going to get to the third baseman or shortstop, and he just went out there and grabbed it. Really proactive off the mound, throwing runners out at first. Good all around game. Good leadership by him, and we also saw, when he came out, things got a little bit hairy for them.
Yeah, I think anytime you got to go with another guy, and I think that they, and I'll give credit to the Railcats, they did an amazing job hanging back and
they did
coming back and fighting a little bit in this game, but you could tell that they got Aldi a little bit, and Fields was a dog tonight. He pitched a really good game.
Yeah, you think about what we talked about. We were a little worried about, or not worried about, but one of our things of improvement for Railcats is, they're a younger team. How are you going to handle adversity? I'd say did pretty well. They were super resilient, came back, dang near, had a chance to walk that off there at the end. So can't say enough good things about the Railcats here at the end of the game, too.
No, I agree. That was a fun one.
All right, well, stay tuned now. We have the championship of the 2026 Diamond Days tournament here on the Babe Ruth division, and excited for that. Excited to see how that goes between Thompson and your hometown Casselton Blackstockings, which is the 15U team. Keep watching here on yourliveevent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search Your Live Event on YouTube and hit subscribe.